What up, everyone? This episode has been brought to you by Jamhits. Jamhits is a one-stop shop for all of your multimedia needs. Whether you're an artist in need of some studio time, recording a music video, if you're in need of printing out some artwork for your upcoming album, show, or merch, Jamhits is the place for you. We also have many different podcasts and radio shows in which you can promote yourself in the confines of our state-of-the-art studio. I guarantee you, once again, Jamhits is the place for you, so go give them a follow on Instagram. This is for all of my sneakerheads out there. I get all of my sneakers from one place, and that is Inland Empire Sneakers. Are you tired of paying those extra fees on certain websites? Are you tired of missing the beat on the latest drops? Are you tired of your shoe plug being outrageously overpriced? Well, if you answered yes to any of those questions, go give Inland Empire Sneakers a try. That's my primo, and let him know that Santi sent you. Once again, Inland Empire Sneakers on Instagram. Go give them a DM, go follow them, and for an extra discount, let them know your boy Santi sent you. Welcome to another episode of Santi Section. Today is a very, very extra special one. This one's been in the making for a good minute. My primo and I right here, we've gone through hell and back to make this one happen. So it's special. This one's close to my heart. You know, this boy right here has been giving me love and support since day one, since the minute that I started chatting with him on Instagram. My primo right here, he's from Pico Union, and he's my primo. And we'll dive into that in a minute. He goes by Emsee Prospekt. How you doing, primo?
I'm doing good, bro. Thank you for having me, Santi. I'm definitely Santi Section, Jamhits.
There you go, yeah. And that being said, before I forget, it's the first interview that I have with an artist that's going to be performing on April 20th at the Treehouse Dispensary in Moreno Valley. Stay tuned for that. He's going to be performing there. We got him locked in. It's going to be a fucking celebration. Anyways, how many podcasts have you done before this?
I've done, let's see, we've done two.
Two? Yeah.
Two thus far. It's been a little interesting because I did an interview for the July 1st performance for Big Duke 6 Side event. And that was pretty wild. I did it for B-Side. Shout out to B-Side.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I seen you on there.
There was a few artists out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was wild. I opened up for Das Legend. Shout out to Das Legend, Sick Jack, and the whole 6 Side crew. That's right.
And I mean, I've seen you once in person, and just to elaborate on that, like, let them know who you've opened up for.
All right, so basically, I met Santi, social media platform, but ever since it's been very genuine. Just to start off, he's like a primo to me, so that's why we say primo, and just to tap into that, you know, his lady saw a resemblance, and ever since then we've been primo, you know. So yeah, it's been crazy. I've opened up for a few Wu-Tang members, Shaheem. It's been I have 4 singles out now. It's the beginning of my career. I've been very fortunate and blessed to be in my first project with Afro, Offlo's Reach Out, which I actually got a tattoo right here in dedication for all he's done for me. And that's definitely a mark that I have to talk and speak out on. So, thanks out to Big Duke. That's my second project coming out. He gave me the first opportunity to open up for a great artist. And, it went up from there, you know. I did Shaheem. I was supposed to open up for Chino XL, and that didn't happen. I was supposed to open up for another Wu-Tang member, San Diego. That didn't happen just due to just losing my pops and my brother in such a short amount of time, you know. So with that being said, I'm back online. 420, our event is coming up. Mm-hmm. We got Destruct. We have Rube, yeah.
H909, Sinclair, and the homie Iceberg from the Jamhits family. Yeah, it's a trip, homie. How like you and I met, because for those of you that have listened and tuned into the other episodes, I've gone through my own, you know, struggles. You know what I mean? And the boy right here, when I was going through my struggles, he was like always reaching out, always supportive. As many of you know, like I wasn't due to the struggles I was dealing with, I wasn't really planning on doing any podcast for a good minute. You already heard how that landed on my lap, but my homie right here, like always, it's like it's underrated for me to say like it's long overdue, because homie, like we've gone through hell and back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, throughout all of this, and like
you pulling up to the Shaheem event, out of nowhere, not telling me whether you're gonna pull up or not. And you pulled up. That meant a lot to me too.
And that was my first night out.
It was
my first night out where I'm like walking and shit. So it's like I was like on baby steps at the time.
I didn't expect that though.
Yeah,
that was dope.
And I met your pops there too.
You met my pops,
and your pops and I, we had a very heartfelt conversation.
You said that, yeah.
You know, like the things he told me, I was just like tripping out, because like when you're from Mexico, you know what I mean, like your pops knew all the sections, you know what I mean, and when he knew where my family grew up from, he's like, damn, like.
That's deep.
You know, he's like, la gente ahí. I don't know if you witnessed that interaction. He's like, la gente ahí, yo sé que eres de ahí porque tienes mucho corazón. I was like, damn, that's deep. And then what happened later on. Yeah, bro.
Dope.
So, you know, none but love, you know, and I understand it must be, you know, I mean, tragedy is tragedy. You know what I mean? I don't know, like, the levels of it, you know, but, like, much love on my end, you know, and the way you've handled it, and it exemplifies the type of leader that you are, and where you're headed, in the direction that you're headed with your career and all of that. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that.
You know, so were you born and raised in Pico?
Yeah, I was born in Pico Union, a few blocks from where Big Duke and, you know, Sick Jack and stayed from. So it was a few blocks away, you know, born and raised. From there, I went down to the dead end blocks. Where Conejo's from, you know, down over there on West Adams District. So that's what I rep, you know. That's I was born and raised there, and you know, it was a blessing. My second project was with Big Duke. So early in my career, I'm over here working with big people, Afro. Now I got Big Duke, so that's something that, you know, speaks in itself.
Yeah,
you know, they believe in me, just like you do, just like how we're doing this, and how I'm always having certain people's back.
Absolutely. And those are all heavy hitters that you just mentioned. So what's the backstory with both the Psycho Realm family and with the Afro? We could start with the Psycho Realm one.
So Black Book and Rhymes, it's a big platform that really supports hip hop. And that's where I met Afro. I was working that day, doing some growing stuff, and I took a lunch. I extended it for 2 hours. I wanted to see Afro. I ended up pulling up a little bit late. Afro's about to pull up, and I found him outside. He barely pulled up to the event for Black Book and Rhymes. I parked right quick, went up to him, and I've been following him since day one, you know. So he entered a competition, and he won the competition at an early age, and then got taken all around the world after that. So I've been following him for a very long time, and when I told him that, his eyes opened up. And I saw an opportunity to show him. I really wanted to see where I was at in hip-hop and in my art skill and everything, my delivery. So I asked him, like, you know, is it okay for me to spit some bars? And he was like, absolutely. So I remember I'm about to spit right away. I'm like tripping out. Like, he's letting me spit some bars. You know, I'm ready for this. So he stops me. I remember he pauses me real quick. And he's like, yo, let's step away. So we walked like at least 30 feet away. And he gave me a very silent like environment, because you could hear the background noise over there at the event. And I just spat some shit that I wrote the day before. And I just see his head and his afro instantly just bopping up and down. So I wrote a song about meeting Afro and that whole situation in my album, and you're gonna hear. I put it down in the paper. That's a track in itself in an album. So that's something for y'all to hear, for the public to hear.
Nice. So for the public to hear right now, if you're open to doing it, what was the bars that you spit to him?
It was crazy. It reminds me of Jam Hits and his flow, his West Coast vibe to his beats. You know, before we entered the studio right now to do this interview, it made me feel that way. Just how I express his afro dipping down like a lowrider. Like the way I wrote it is just very detailed. And trust me, it's gonna get a rise.
Yeah.
The styles and everything, I switch it up, do different type of styles depending on the beat, and it adjusts, it intertwines. It goes very smooth. And then not only that, it's a storyline. So it's dope, dog. It's very artistic, very lyrical. I use different literary tools. It's literature, bro, and writing, dog, and music. So it's dope. It's something new that's gonna be brought to hip hop, to boom bap especially. It's gonna be multi-dimensional.
Yeah, and I've heard. I mean, your 4 singles, correct? 4 singles that you've dropped. And
4 singles.
Yeah, something that stands out about you. I don't know if you've ever heard Dr. Dre talk about what he looks for in an artist. Have you ever heard that?
I have not.
No. Okay, so there's an interview of Dr. Dre where he's talking about if you listen to every breakthrough artist that he's had, the Eazy-E's, the Tupacs, the Snoops, the Kendricks, something that they all have in common is their voice stands out. Yeah,
It stands out like beyond like a whole community.
He says their voice stands out, and that's something about you, homie.
That's
that
true,
when I
man.
hear you, dog, like I'm like, this is Emsee Prospekt.
Wow.
It's not one of those like, oh, is this so and so, or is this? Wait a minute, is this so? Homie, you have your own voice.
Dope.
You know what I mean?
I didn't know you were taking it there. I thought you were talking about hip hop, But
Yeah,
that's an honor to even hear that,
yeah. I mean, even
But for sure I've been working on that for over 5 years, so it's kind of wild the way I have my stuff. I've been doing music for over 10 years. The first 5 years was to work on my lyrics. The next 5 years were to work on my delivery, to stand out, to sound different. And that's something that artists don't work on nowadays,
Yeah.
Everyone tries to imitate, tries to sound like the next big thing. It's already popping.
Yeah.
You just got to sound like yourself, really be in tune with yourself. I haven't listened to other people for such a long time unless I have close people that really need support or whatever. I support everyone when it comes down to it. But when it comes down to setting myself in the studio, I got to close that out, It's all about myself at that very moment. I can't try to be like someone else.
Yeah, and on that note, even like most artists that I'll have sitting in the seat, I can be like, oh damn, the homie's paying homage to who he listened to here. Homie, like you're completely unique, hands down. Like I haven't heard anyone like you, and like I'm really, really fucking excited. I'm hyped up. You know what I mean? To like listen to the full album when it gets released. Mind
Thank
Over
you.
Matter coming soon, by the way.
Mind over matter.
Yeah, and that being said, I must ask, like, how was it once you got your foot in the door with Afro? Like,
That's actually a good question. I could start from there. From that day, actually, my whole studio equipment got robbed, and right before I met Afro.
oh
So after my bars, he told me, "Damn, homie, you got bars. Send me a DM." And then I broke out the news that I had all my studio equipment robbed. So the next session that we had was actually at his studio himself, at his own pad. So that's where it started growing. Next thing you know, I'm going to his house constantly every week. Where he's doing beats on the spot. He came over to my place. He slept over. And we had a feast. He had a good time. But we got to work. He brought his equipment over. We had some of my new equipment that I had purchased. And we got to work the whole night, bro. And that's actually the time that he made Contact.
oh shit!
One of my singles, the first single that I released.
Yeah.
He did that right on the spot at my pad when he
right.
slept over. So, yeah, that's actually inside news right there, because not a lot of people know. Like, we have a very close relationship, when it comes down to holidays, or it comes down to, going through struggles, or, losing my pops, losing my brother. I hit him up and I'm like, yo, my outlet is music. So my album was supposed to come out today, on my dad's birthday, and I had to push it back. But just due to the fact that I called Afro, I need a beat. I'm going through some shit, So I wrote a whole new song for my brother that's I'm excited to release to the world. If I could release so many singles from this album, but Afro told me I only have 4. So, that's also a problem that I had, because, I shot you last week, Poet,
Yeah.
or the Psycho.
Yeah.
And then I shot you the other one that's 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And those shits are like fucking one of my favorites too, you know, and I still got, you know, Rusty Jux from New York in there. You know, I still got those other 2 singles that are with Afro and Ill Conscious from Baltimore. So that those shits were fucking hits. But yeah, overall, dog, like it's been very tough to even choose a single. But
Yeah.
it's been wild, man.
Yeah. Every single I've heard so far is fire. And when you have all 4 of them are so different with the theme in them and the things that you're talking about, how do you approach that? Because, like, for example, Latin Lingo is like a banger, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one's like you're just talking your shit. It feels like
Talking
so.
my shit,
Yeah.
man.
So like, how is like the theme of the song for each 4 of those? Like, is it already set in stone, or you're just spitting and you're like, this is what I'm gonna want for this one?
That's cool that you asked that question because it's very important and it's different for very like different artists. You know.
Yeah.
The process is different. So for me, my process is first always listening to the beat. I like to close my eyes and just listen to every sound that the beat maker is doing, you know? I want to hear every sound and see how it makes me feel. That's where I start. Every beat has a story to tell. And that's definite. Like, that's something that I've always carried across my whole time that I've been doing music.
Yeah.
Is a beat has a story to tell. And it shows you the way you gotta go.
Yeah.
So when Afro did that Contact beat, I was just like, yo, like I'm gonna make contact, and I talk about that shit. Like I talk my shit, and I also want to illustrate the different type of styles that I can do, and fast or slow. You know, at the end I do like some type of big pun style towards the end. That little Fredo riddling bossy throw in the middle. This is a little bit little. Like it's wild, like the way I switch it. So I love it, man. I love it. I love the question that you asked, bro. It's very deep. I could talk about it all day, bro.
Me too.
It's wild, man.
I mean, you and I have had. And for those of you
combos.
For
Deep
those of you
combos.
that don't know, me and this fool have had like some fucking long 2-day conversations where I send him some music, some verses of the shit that I'm into. He'll give me his feedback. So I must ask you, dog. Like, obviously, you know you're my cup of tea based on the shit that I've sent you, homie. Like,
Vice versa.
So what? Your style, homie, like your chopping style, and you be honest, you don't gotta cater to me because you know the shit that I'm into. Like, be honest, like your chopping style and then your lyrical content, all of that put into one. Like, where does that come from?
Honestly, the lyricism part of me is definitely the way I am. So I had this sick professor back in high school. I had a high school teacher that was a professor in a university. And he taught me literature back in 2004. And he just transformed my way of writing and took it to a whole different level. And it started from there. I started doing poetry at the age of, back in 1998, I started poetry. I entered competitions. And even though those were drastic losses, no lie, that shit was horrible. You know, it was just a learning process on how I wrote things. And I kept that writing. And I remember in high school doing poetry and talking about the streets, what I was living, losing my homies from the blocks and getting my homies getting locked up and just losing homies one by one, you know? Like in the beginning I had like a bunch of homies, you know, up to 20. Just one by one started like slowly dissipating. So that's what I wrote about. You know, it started with poetry, and then all of a sudden, you know, I used to fuck around with the homie Savage and the homie Seven. You know, much love to them. We used to freestyle, go to the mall, compete. It's kind of wild. Like, this is a little crazy story right here. I used to go to the mall, and there was a thing about us. We had to write a few bars and then separate. Came back together at the end. Whoever had the best bars would win, and the loser would have to buy each other something. He would be the one spotting shit. So that was something that I would always do. Post up at the pad and always bust freestyles. First hip-hop underground track I heard was Sick Dogs, and I tell Big Duke this shit all the time. the first track that got me into shit was that Sick Dog shit, you know?
Yeah.
And being from Pico Union, it was just a fucking trip that I wasn't revealed to it a little sooner.
Damn. So that's where the affiliation and the upbringing or the inspiration with the Psycho Realm came from originally.
Well, that's already another story, you know? I'm probably talking too much, but I got stories,
dog.
man.
It's a podcast. Santi Section, dog.
Yeah,
Come on.
Santi Section, exclusive shit only, yo. Like really biography type stuff for Santi Section. I used to party with Sick Jackin's cousin.
Oh, shit.
And my boy, Abraham, they're still together, you know, till this very day, was dating Sick Jackin's cousin. So I was always invited to barbecues that they would hold up and stuff from the Sick Side Army and stuff, and I wouldn't pull up, but that was that relation stuff. So whenever I hit up the cousin and I was like, yo, shoot me a good word to Sick Jackin that I'm trying to work with him, he shot me a message back, and that's where the whole thing sprouted. And then I talked to Big Duke, and, you know, Big Duke opened that door for me, man.
Yeah, that's good shit. And just to dive into something else real quick before we get back to you, because I like talking about everything in here.
Let's do it.
So, you know, to me, homie, like, I love the culture. You know, I love our raza. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, when it comes down to hip hop and our people, when I'm talking about hip hop and lyricism, to me, the pioneers of that is Psycho Realm. I can't think of anybody else.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we have the Chicano rappers, of course, like Kid Frost that came out first, you know what I mean? And the Little Robs and all that. But
Kid Frost.
Yeah, shout out Kid Frost, you know, much love to them. But the pioneers are the ones that added that twist to it to where they made it more hip hop. It's hands down, in my opinion, Psycho Realm.
Psycho Realm and, you know, Cypress Hill.
In Cypress Hill.
You gotta
And
put
they-
them on the map, and
Yeah.
coming from the east side, definitely gotta love Big Pun. You know, Big Pun was definitely someone that influenced me. And you said, like, who influenced you when it comes down to big names? It has to be Big Pun, Be Real, and definitely someone who I want to work with in the near future is Be Real.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you mentioned, I know you went down the timeline, but how long ago was all of this when you started rapping?
I started rapping about 13, 14 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to release anything to anyone or make it public. It was something that was too convincing, you know? Yeah, I was never going to release music to the world or nothing. It's just something that I love doing every day, if not every day, you know? The first 5 years I spent every day, at least 8 to 10 hours a day. And yeah, that's definitely something that, you know, it helps me stay afloat, and, you know, keep me lined up. So I get that popping, you know, that's what I do.
Yeah, that's correct. That's right. And like your first single that you put out was Contact Rap. How much of your upbringing is involved in that track? I know the answer kind of, but we got to touch on that because I saw the Mike Tyson picture on there. I saw all of that on there.
Oh, that's actually something that only you would know. Like, for instance, we're boxing fanatics.
Yeah.
So that's something that we really touch base on. Being a artist like Tech Nine.
Yeah.
That we love. Crooked Eye.
Yeah.
With that wicked style and stuff. Those are artists that also influenced me. But another one that influenced me for sure was Eminem. And that Contact Rap is very competitive. It's to bring out the best of any artist that's listening to me, to kind of like bring you that inspiration to talk your shit, to be the best artist that you can be, but be yourself. You know, like, don't try to imitate nobody else, you know, because even though, like, I'm not trying to be like Big Pun, yeah, he inspired me, but he didn't influence my way of writing or any of that. There's a line between that, you know, and people don't seem to understand. You could get inspired by the artist, but you don't have to bite the artist style. You understand what I'm saying?
Homie, you just like blew my mind. No one's ever that I've spoke to a ton of artists, and like from all the artists I've ever spoke to, they never ever touched on that. For example, like, I can't rap, but I write some shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, you could give yourself some time. You just got to put work in it, but like everyone else.
But I'll write some shit. But no, but you
I'm
touched
sure
on
you will.
you touched on some shit that's like very, very crucial for those up and coming artists that are trying to find their niche. You know what I mean? Like me, I love Tech Nine. I love Psycho Realm. I love all kinds of music, but I could never ever write like them. So my niche, when I've written shit, it's King Crooked, where I'm like, okay, metaphors, punchlines, but with some fucking street shit in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's crazy that you said that because like, yeah, I'll bump some fucking Tupac. I'll never be able to fucking write some shit like Tupac. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's deep,
so that's crazy.
That
homie.
takes heart, right?
Yeah, that just blew my mind that you said that. Wow.
That's probably why it's vital for you. You're going through some situations and just put it in the paper, bro.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah, you should, man. Just whether it's poetry or it's just jotting it down.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a magical piece, dog, because it comes from the heart, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I lead from. If it comes from the heart, dog, I mean, you could write about it.
Yeah,
do so. I mean, what's stopping you? You get me?
Yeah, you're right. Something that I must give you your flowers on, dog, that I learned from you, even though I haven't known you for that long, is the fact that you stay in the cut. You stay silent. You know what I mean? When it's necessary. And you're very patient. You know, like you're very, very patient. Like me, myself, I had to be patient by choice. Not by choice, by circumstances. You know what I mean? And I had the itch to like do this, you know, to do a podcast, do that. But I'm like, bro, like, I mean, I couldn't walk for X amount of months. You know what I mean? I was dealing with some things. And even prior to you dealing with what you've dealt with, like, I felt like I got that blueprint from you. So I must give you your flowers on that because you haven't even released your first project yet. But your shit's fire, so you're patiently waiting. You know, shout out to 50 Cent. No. But
right.
How much containment or like how much does that test your anxiety if you have any when it comes down to like, damn, I know I'm putting together a fucking fire ass project. I know I am fucking about to blow everyone's minds with this. Like how much like how do you do that? Like what's your approach on all of that?
I mean, my closest ones can tell you I'm anxious.
Yeah.
I get anxiety.
You do?
Yeah.
But how, I mean, because I don't see you.
There's times I can't sleep. Like, sometimes it takes a text from Afro to calm me down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's proud of me.
So you do get that itch where you're like, homie, I want to fucking release that shit already?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. It's just, I have to be patient, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted it to come out on my father's birthday in dedication to his death and my brother, you know, being the junior and the senior. The fact that it couldn't happen, disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to stay calm.
Mm.
You can't be walking around without your head, you know, looking like a chicken when shit happens. So I try to stay calm. I continue writing music. Like right now, I'm closing up my father's song. I just need the ad-libs, but I need to feel a certain way before I close it and send it out to Afro. But what settles me down is just what Afro sends me, creating.
Wow.
Just creating. Right now, I hit up Big Duke, and I need some extensions for some songs and tracks that I need to start working on. But Big Duke's album is halfway done. The riddens are done. I closed them out already too. So I just need to hit the studio now, bro, and record that shit. So that's gonna get done real fast. That should get released actually the end of this year, if not the beginning of the next.
So it being your dad's birthday, bro, and with what you dealt with your brother, I must say I'm dedicating this episode to them, dog.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Because I can imagine how heavy that is. On that note, like, what was your upbringing like, homie?
I grew up in Pico Union. Used to do karate at that park right there that everyone knows in Pico. That's well known. Sick Jackson just did an event there just recently, a few months back. And I did karate. I have a good upbringing with, you know, both my parents and stuff, you know, being there, being supportive. I was always a fighter growing up. So that's where my love for boxing comes from. Yeah, I never told you this either, even though we have long ass convos. We could do interviews, dog, with our voice messages and everything, dog. Just post it up, dog. Like talking about boxing, bro, and talking about all kinds of stuff, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's my upbringing. That's what it is, man. Just being supported. I always wanted to be a boxer, a professional boxer growing up, and I didn't get the support just because my parents don't want to see me get hit, you know. But they see me get down a few times, but you know, when it came down to professional boxing, they didn't want to support it. So that's just where it came from. You know, the putazos coming from a Mexican background. It's just they're very loving and concerning, you know.
Yeah. Did you ever get your ass kicked for getting your ass kicked?
No, that was a threat that I would get before getting down.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I didn't ever lose.
Yeah. All right.
That's something that I love doing. You know, it's that adrenaline rush. It's kind of like what hip hop makes me feel.
Yeah.
When I finish hearing the song at the end with everything done, and I'm about to press send for Afro and send it an email. That's what it feels like, dog.
Yeah.
It gets the adrenaline rushing, bro. Like just fucking being active like that. But that's just a different story, right there.
Yeah. Reason why I ask, I mean, I do remember being like 8 years old and being at a park with my cousins, and we're swinging on swings, and I was being obnoxious to one of my cousins, and like she fucking just flipped my ass off the swing. She whooped my ass, right? I go home with my ass beat, and then my dad fucking whoops my ass over it too. I'm like, fuck, he's all fucking pendejo. ¿Por qué chingados te dejaste? I'm like, damn, like, you know, that's why I asked that question.
No, that's a good question, dog, because I would have been lucky if I would have pulled up when I got down with my best friend.
Yeah.
Oh, Maldito. Shout out to them. When I got down with him and he got me in a good shot, just one shot on the eye, my eye was kind of bruised up. I'm lucky my pops was in there, dog. He would have beat my ass too, man.
Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely
same.
Cut from the same cloth.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man. Definitely.
So of course I know you got your girl here and everything. How long and how crucial has she been with everything that you've been dealing with?
Very crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been there day in, day out. She's been there since my brother's passing.
Wow.
Yeah, she's taking time off, and she's been there day in, day out. So that's something I gotta, you know, appreciate, be grateful about. But like going through a tough situation like that, sometimes you're not there in the present time.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to like kind of like maintain all these things, kind of like you're kind of shortcut, like short circuited, you know?
Yeah. That's
how I feel sometimes. But overall, man, like, you know, I appreciate that. She's been there day in, day out.
Yeah. Do you feel like this has changed your DNA somewhat?
Fuck, man. That's a deep ass question, man. I could go on with this shit. Yeah, it's my perspective about things in life. In the song that I wrote for my dad at the end, I show you what I learned. Like, it's gonna answer your question.
Okay.
At the end, what I say is like I finally learned what life is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's a trip, dog. And I'm sorry to hit you with those heavy questions, dog. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not expected, but I mean, like, it's better to not prep for them and just come from the heart. Like I said, like when it comes down to lyrics or, you know, bars, it's better to come that way, especially when you have a genuine relationship. So it's been crazy. It's been crazy. It just takes that work, bro. Takes that work. Just trying to calm down and just stay busy with the music. Yeah, that's what keeps it floating.
You got to stay in the moment, right?
Yeah, stay in the moment.
Yeah,
or at least try to.
Yeah, and appreciate what's in front of you. Yeah, and that's why I always tell you that, because like with me, I can't compare your situation to mine. You know what I mean? Like, tragedy is tragedy. I don't know the levels of it. I've dealt with my own kind of tragedy. I think when I chatted with you and I've gone ghost, you know what I mean? I lost one of my best friends growing up. You know what I mean? And that shit fucking hit me heavy. I was in a parking lot of a store and my kid's with me and I get the call. And this is my homie that I've known for 30 years. You know what I mean? And I get the call and it's just me and my daughter. And my daughter's like, what happened? And I remember just like breaking down, and I'm like calling my wife, hey, come inside, come to the car, come back to the car. And she's like, what happened? I'm like, just come back to the car. And I'm like, I blacked out, dog. Like I was in the I was driving, and see, I can't even put my words together right now. And
Nah, I feel you, bro.
And I put that shit on drive, and my wife's like, what are you doing? Because like I shut down, you know what I mean? So shout out to our partners, our spouses, our girls for
Shout out.
being our backbone when it comes down to that shit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like, fuck, homie, like I have no idea where I'd be without that. So that's why I asked you that question.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
question,
And yours is deeper than what I'm not, like I said, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to put it into words, but like, fuck. And with that being said, I mean, for me, I feel like there's never like a full healing process with that. You let me know what you think.
There's not. It's just, I mean, I don't know much about it.
I mean, there's like self-therapy, I feel like, right?
I mean, I don't know much right now. For me, time froze.
Yeah.
You know, it's a little different. For me, it's still fresh.
Of course.
My dad passed away February 23rd on a Friday. And my brother passed December 29th on a Friday.
Yeah.
That Friday, I was working on a video to release for Posse Cut 2 for Afro. That was worldwide. And I was working with my 6-side partner, and I got that call from my pops saying that he found my brother like laid out, you know? So that right there, you know, is just explains volumes of what I've gone through mentally and what I have to overcome to release this project.
That's right.
You know, right now it's on hold, but that's just because I'm creating songs for my father in dedication and my brother. But
and those songs are gonna be on Mind Over Matter.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that whole project is in dedication to my brother and my father who passed away within a fucking 2-3 month margin, you know. So that's in dedication. That's the only reason why I pushed my album back. And yeah, you guys are gonna hear very deep stories, real life stuff, and lyrical shit. And it's very competitive, and it comes down to street stuff. But when it comes down to Big Duke's project, it's gonna be a whole different aspect of me. It's gonna be mostly a storyline based lyrics that talk about my life, kind of like a biography.
That's right.
So it's gonna be bringing that back to life. I don't want to say the title right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of time left, but Mind Over Matter is definitely something that's lyrical, that's competitive. I talk my shit, and it's give people a rise.
That's right.
I want to see people inspired. You know, I don't need you to bite. I need you to get inspired and do your best. Be yourself. Like you said earlier, bro, like this is something I have to put in cement. It's a tragedy in the game of hip hop where people are just biting and taking people's styles. Work on yourself. Focus on yourself. Believe in yourself.
Keep talking, homie.
You
Go
know,
ahead, keep going.
You don't believe in yourself, brother.
Yeah.
That's the reason why you're biting. You know, so show support where the support is due, and keep it moving. Be on positive vibes and support. You know, and that's why I do my shit talking, yo. I know where I come from. I know the type of work that it took for me to get here. So I ain't cutting back, bro. That's just the beginning.
Yeah. And you know what, Primo? On that note, like I told you, starting this fucking episode, this one's close to my heart.
It is.
So I got your back,
Close to
homie.
mine.
So motherfuckers, no one sounds like him. No one. So
No one
any motherfucker after this episode that tries to sound like him, it's not you.
Just press the like button. That's all you gotta do.
Press the like button. Click the likes. Fire on the comments. 100.
Thank you. Salute.
All right, dog. Well, all that being said, I know we've talked about merch I'm waiting for my hoodie, homie.
Yes,
but
sir.
it's almost t-shirt season, so let's make it a t-shirt now, dog. What's going on with all of that?
Yeah, that's kind of in the wait. My partner in that, he's taking a little break. He's going through some stuff, so that's in the wait. I do have everything done from designs to a whole season of sweats to shirts to hoodies. I'm working on my hats. It's already designed. It's just the matter of manufacturing, production, talking numbers, the business aspect of it. But after that, yeah, it's good to go. I need to set up my online URL, get that done, and then we're good to go. But as of now, that's something I have to wait on. But definitely gonna be out before my album release. I gotta get that ball going. So
fuck yeah, and just know, Jam Hits family, the Santi Section family, the Two Souls on Fire family, we got your back, homie.
That's right,
like
man.
what? Oh, like once you
Salute.
release everything, homie, like we're all about it, and
Salute,
we're
man.
so looking forward to having you at our show. That's just
Salute.
gonna be sick, homie.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be
Yeah.
a new set, a brand new set.
Fuck yeah.
It's gonna be crazy because there's gonna be songs that I've never performed, and it's gonna be even more on point, more heart in it, especially because I've never performed after I lost my pops, so that's gonna be the first show, getting back in the zone and just letting loose.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy, especially in appreciation of Jam Hits, Two Souls, and Santi Section. And thank you for adding on me on that.
Yeah,
Appreciate
boy.
that shit.
Yeah, I had to.
I'm gonna kill it for you, boy.
The homie from Jam Hits told me you got 3 artists, and the 3 that are there are like at the top of my list.
I'm gonna come through like Canelo, bro, without the dodging with Benavides. Let's talk, man. My bad, bro. My bad. My bad. My bad.
Did I ever tell you why I'm big on Benavides? Real talk.
No. We never spoke about it. Oh.
I was born in Arizona.
Dope.
That's why.
And I go to Arizona a lot. You've told me that shit.
Yeah.
Damn, that's wild.
why.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Cheers, man. Yeah, Benavides. Let's see, man.
So
Who are you going for? Benavides
if they
to win?
fight, if they fight, yeah, I gotta go with
Yeah,
Benavides.
for sure.
But does that mean that I think he's gonna win? You and I have had long fucking You know what? I'm gonna record him and fucking.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't know.
Yeah, that's wild, bro. That's wild. So
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought you were gonna go for Canelo.
No,
Oh,
that's the only reason why.
that's dope.
Nah, but we'll see. We'll see. So to close it out, homie, I must ask you, what's like right now with everything you're going through, everything you've dealt with, just in life in general, what's the best piece of advice that you could give someone?
Stay busy.
Shit.
Stay busy. But don't stay busy like stupid wise. Like fucking partying, drinking, fucking up.
Like we are right now.
No, this is progressive. I can sneak a drink or two.
Yeah.
Because it's progressive.
There you go.
So that's like my little pass. But yeah, just focus on yourself and focus on your goals.
That's right.
Yeah, tunnel vision at times, and then expand when you have to.
Yeah. So I usually don't do this, but I'm gonna do this right now because you're special to me. You know what I mean? You mean a lot to me. Just so you know. The advice that I would have for you, dog, is that once you do release this project, fucking blow it up, homie. Blow it up, because you meet the hype, if there's any hype. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Blow it up. You're a leader. Considering everything you've gone through, you're a leader. You may not know that yet, but you're a
pumping
fucking
me
leader,
up,
homie.
Santi.
You are, bro.
Thank you.
So fucking do it. Just do it. Nike, just do it.
Thank you, bro.
Seriously, homie. Like you mean a lot to me, and this is way overdue. Like, for those of you listening,
Way overdue.
way overdue. We've gone through some obstacles to get him here. I've gone through some obstacles to be here for him. So yeah, bro, like, you mean a lot to me, and when it's time, do it, carnal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll get that done for sure.
You know what I
man.
mean? Like, just heavy as the crown, but embrace it.
No,
know what I mean?
We'll get that done. We'll
All
get
right.
that done. We'll get that shit done together, bro. Just
Yeah.
give me some time.
Yeah.
I only have 4 singles out. My album is gonna be crazy. Every track is gonna be wild, and every track has a story and a different style to it. Listen to lyrics. It's gonna be very special. The lyrics. That's something that's like not paid attention to enough, and that's always something.
You're one of them cats that is way too talented to be hiding under a rock. For your talent to be hidden under a rock, homie.
And then being bilingual. So the project, I did a Spanish track actually, in Mind Over Matter. That's all Spanish, and that's actually one of my favorite tracks as well. I have too many, bro. Like I'm telling you, every track is gonna stay in your head. It will. So
yeah. In the meantime, look up my homie, my primo, on every streaming platform. Emsee Prospekt. Spell it out real quick.
Contact Rap, Emsee Prospekt with the S, Emsee Prospekt with the K. The first single is Contact Rap. The second one was Latin Lingo featuring Afro and Il Conscious from Baltimore. The third one is definitely, which one was it? It was P Excerpts featuring Afro. And that's just wild, lyrically wild. Like you like that chopper shit, which Afro welcomed me to the chopper unit. Thank you. I didn't even know what a chopper was. It's wild. That's something he put me up on like a year and a half ago. So I was a chopper without even knowing it.
Yeah, and then the fourth one.
And the fourth one is Faces of Boom Bap featuring Big Ace.
That's right. So, hey, primo, once again, gracias.
Much love.
This
Thank
is
you,
the
bro.
beginning. You're
the beginning of everything.
You're gonna be on here again, fool.
Oh, definitely,
all right?
Bro. Definitely. Let's get it when you know Big Duke's project's almost done.
And this, just remember, this episode is gonna be releasing this Saturday, April 6th, 2024. My boy's gonna be performing at the Treehouse Dispensary in Moreno Valley on 420.
420.
Come
420.
through.
Shout out Jam Hits.
That's
TV,
right.
Santi Section. All
That's
love,
right.
man. Big Duke, Afro. Let's
Fuck
go.
yeah. That's it.